Well, how y'all doing this morning? I hope y'all having a blessed morning. It's almost 3 a.m. here in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I'm working on a project. I'm happy to see the way it's turning out. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to Miss Ginger Ninja. She sent me a bunch of stuff a few months ago, and in that stuff was this decana, and I fell in love with it right away. I said to myself, I know exactly what's going in there, and I put me some red wine vinegar in there. Uh, she's got a nice little channel. She does a lot of gardening. She's got yard birds. She got a really nice victory garden going. She's a very nice lady. You might want to check out her channel. So I cheated. I put some Pompeii red wine vinegar in here to get it started. Um, and I don't know if y'all can see that. See them chunks in the bottom there? That's the mother, okay? And that's what you need to start more vinegar. Now, it needs oxygen, needs air, so it forms up around here where there's oxygen, and when it's fully ready to go, it's a bacteria, uh, it will fall down to the bottom. Now, it will appear as a slimy film on the top here. Don't worry about that. It ain't going to hurt you. You don't want to eat it by itself, okay? But you can actually strain this out, put some cheesecloth over a jar or something and strain it out and use the vinegar and then save the mother to make more vinegar because you need the mother to make more vinegar. Um, this is balsamic vinegar. All balsamic vinegar that is real balsamic vinegar is made in Italy. This is imported from Italy. It comes from certain regions in Italy. Now, I'm sure that if I let out some of that or put it in another container, okay, that mother would begin to form on that too. Just like this apple cider vinegar here, it's got the mother in it. There's some in the bottom, but not a lot, but there's not a whole lot of oxygen up here either. It's also not pasteurized. You don't want to use vinegar that's distilled because it's been cooked. Raw vinegar, if you're going to use that for anything, in making stuff, you would need raw vinegar. I'm sure if I emptied that bottle out a little bit, mother would begin to grow in there. But you need an alcoholic beverage. This is what's called wine, actually. This is what's called alcohol fermenting, okay? And so, but you can make wine. I mean, you go to the store, you can make wine out of just about any flavor of juice that you can buy. You don't want to get something that's low in sugar. This is not something somebody that can't have sugar really should have because you need the sugar in it. And you just pour out some of that juice and add you a packet of after dry yeast. It doesn't have to be brewer's yeast. It can be baker's yeast. And add you some more sugar in there and stir it up. You want to leave the cap loose on it so it can breathe. Or maybe put some cheesecloth on it because as that yeast starts fermenting, it's going to give off gas. But it's best to, they do have special little doohickeys you can buy to put in there, but why do that? Just leave the cap loose so it can get air and it can breathe. And then every couple of days, tighten up that lid and give it a shake and loosen it up again. And after a while, you're going to have wine. If you have your own apples, your own raspberries, it's often made with raspberries or other fruits, grapes, you can make your own wine. And then what you do is you take wine, it's usually 1 part mother, depending on the size of your batch, as to your measurements. But it's usually 1 part mother, 1 part water, and you don't want to use tap water. You're better off using distilled water or filtered water. To about 750 milliliters of wine. Now, you can buy store-bought wine. The higher quality the wine, the higher quality vinegar you're going to have. Okay, that's just the way it is. But this can be perpetually made over and over and over and over again, and it has an infinite shelf life. Okay. Now, herbed and fruited vinegars are made the same way. but they don't have as long as a shelf life because the fruit will begin to discolor and the vinegar will get a strange taste. So you got maybe about 2 to 3 months, on the size of the batch, and then it should go into the fridge for another couple months. So it doesn't have an infinite shelf life. But with your own mother and your own wine, you can make vinegar all the time. And keep in mind that it was used back in the day to keep things pickled, all right? Back in the day, we ate more fermented foods. And, people back then did not have the stomach problems that we do today. And I think a lot of that is because people canned more. They pickled more to get them, through the winter and stuff. What do we eat now? I mean, pickles, maybe some hot peppers. Back then, they pickled a lot of things. So it's very good for your health. It really is. And you have an infinite supply of it. The same thing with yeast. Now, you need yeast to make your wine. Drying yeast is very tricky because it's got to be cold dried, which takes a long time to do. But people made their own yeast with potatoes, flour, and a little sugar. You boiled the potatoes, you use that and the sugar and the flour, and you made your own yeast. And as long as you kept adding a little water and a little flour, to that yeast, you had an infinite supply of yeast. You just kept it going. So the pioneers used that. They stored it in crocks and covered it with towels. Put it in a cool, dry place too. Kept it moist. So they had an infinite supply of yeast and an infinite supply of vinegar. So, I'm really happy with the way this is turning out. It's a small batch. Very interesting. Anyway, they're great prepper supplies because they can be kept going. Like I said, vinegar has an infinite shelf life. As far as vinegars made from grapes or apples, stuff like that, or other fruits, and strained, where there's not fruit actually in it. Like I said, that can discolor and change the taste of it, and it does not have a longer shelf life. But they're great prep supplies. So that's what I'm doing this morning, and I'm happy to see the progression on that. And now I'm going to have to eat something because Doc posted a video where he made a salad called Castaway Black Bean Salad, and it made me hungry. But I'm not the only one that's accused him of that. That somebody else said they were going to have to stop watching his videos at night because they made him hungry at night. But it looked delicious and it made me hungry. So I'm going to have to eat me something here. Well, I hope that helps y'all out some. I mean, it's a great prepper supply. Y'all have a blessed night. Bye-bye.